we're drinking at Universal Orlando today.
For science. Hey there, MamFam. We are at Universal Orlando Resort, and we are going to be getting some drinks.
We are finally going to do the craft beer throwdown because there are several different beers exclusive to Universal Orlando Park. So we are going to be trying all of them today and ranking them so we can find the best brew here. Are you ready?
I am. Good alliteration.
I feel like I've been preparing my whole adult life for this. I'm so excited right now.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a celebration. The puns will only get worse the more we drink. Let's go. I am so excited about this video. We've been talking about it forever, and it finally worked out that we're also doing a staycation so that we have a bus and a place to sleep. Safety first, friends. We're also, just so you know, going to be splitting all of the drinks because I think there's at least 8, possibly 9 different beers for us to try. So we're going to be not only splitting the drinks between us, but also splitting this over 2 days of fun and beer. Now, if you know me, you know one of my favorite things in the world is when a place has exclusive beers, and I especially love it in theme parks because I think it's so fun to go to Springfield or Jurassic Park or the Wizarding World and get a beer that you can literally not get anywhere else. Additionally, I do want to point out that we're just doing the beers inside the 2 theme parks. They do have an exclusive beer over at Volcano Bay. Twosome has an exclusive beer as well, but we're just going to do the 2 parks, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida, which is where we're starting today.
But don't worry, for all you non-drinkers, we are going to pick up some of our favorite non-alcoholic beverages as well as snacks along the way.
Hello, Homer. Hello, Bart. How are ya? Hello, Bart. How are ya? Now, Homer, we're headed to get a Duff beer. Would you like one? Okay, we'll get you a beer. You want 2? Okay, just meet us at the brewery. Do you want a Duff or a Duff Light? Duff, the regular, the OG. We got you. We got you. Sorry, you're not old enough.
See the line over there? You gotta wait over there, okay?
Sorry, Bart. I'll get you a Flamin' Moe. Sorry. For legal reasons, I can't tell you to give you. Come on, we're going. Let's go. We're gonna go.
Sorry, Bart. And first up, after of course meeting Homer and Bart themselves, we are headed to Springfield, home of the Simpsons, to try some of the classic beer from Duff Brewery. And on the exterior of Duff Brewery, just in case you were confused as to what these little topiaries were, these are the 7 Duffs. They are edgy, remorseful, dizzy, tipsy, surly, queasy, and sleazy, which are a very obvious little knock on the 7 dwarfs. What? No. Can't get enough of that wonderful Duff. What a tagline. Let's go see if we can, in fact, get enough of that wonderful Duff. I suspect we will not be able to. Okay, our first haul has been gotten. We have picked up a standard Duff beer, a Duff Light, and a Buzz Cola, which was prepped with a syrup of some sort. So we're gonna take cola, something that is already known to be sweet, and add in some more sugar.
Now, I think it might have been clear, but just to be extra clear, this is non-alcoholic.
Yes.
Anyone can enjoy a Buzz Cola. First of all, we've got a lovely seating area back here, kind of behind the Duff Brewery, nice and quiet on the water. It's very lovely, very lovely. I think we start with the classic Duff, the Duff OG.
We have extra cups in which to pour our beers to be sampled.
You can just pour. I think you're gonna like that one more, so just pour me a little bit.
The secret in pouring a beer is that you tilt the glass, not the pouring vessel. And then you get a perfect amount of head on the top of that beer.
All right, beer number 1.
Cheers. That is a beer that tastes a little bit like beer.
It is an American amber lager, and I should say that all the beers we're going to be trying are from Carib Brewery, USA, which is pretty local. It's in Cape Canaveral. It used to be called Florida Brewing Company, but it is cool that all these beers are local to Central Florida, or Central-ish Florida.
It's cool that Universal is supporting a semi-local business. So
I love that.
So let's talk about the beer.
Oh, because there's a taco truck
Yeah,
right
because
there?
there's a taco truck.
Yeah.
And I kind of want tacos.
Should probably get tacos after these.
Anyway, let's talk about the beer. It is lightly caramelly, a little malty, which is pretty standard for a lager beer. I think when people think of beer, this is what they sort of envision.
It's a little darker than I personally prefer, because when I think of beer, I think of more like a lighter beer, like a lighter, more domestic lager. It's a little bit heavier than that, so if you're used to drinking like Bud Light, Coors Light, like a domestic lager, this is a little bit heavier than that. But it's not bad. Now, we are going to be rating these beers on the sip scale.
Sip scale.
And then at the end, we are going to each rate our beers in what we're calling the beeriarchy, which is our own personal ranking of the beers. What do we put this on the sip scale?
I give this a 5 on the sip scale.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think if we're going to measure every beer that we have here in Universal, this is going to be the sort of center median point upon which we can sort of swing, the fulcrum point that we can swing all future beers.
It is just beer.
It's a beer.
It's good. You're not going to be mad at it, but I don't think you're going to be coming back for a bunch more. All right, next up, the Duff Light, which is listed as an American light pilsner. Well,
An immediate change.
That is Simpsonly delicious. Simpsonly, like simply, but Simpsonly delicious.
Very light, very little in the way of like malt flavor.
If I'm gonna drink something in Simpsons, it's gonna be this, just because I prefer a lighter beer. It's a little bit stronger beer flavor than like a Michelob Ultra or a Bud Light, because it is a Pilsner, not a lager, but it's still not as heavy as this.
It's like a golden hay flavor. Like if you think about like how hay smells,
Yeah.
that is how this tastes. Very light, very refreshing, very crisp.
Yeah, very good for a hot day, I'd
As
say.
opposed to something like this, which is standard Duff, which is more malty and going to sort of linger on your palate longer.
All right, what do we put this at? Because I think I like this one better.
I do too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
Do we put it at a 6?
It's 6 was in my head. I think this is a 6.
6.
This is better than your. This is better than your Bud Light, but it still fits within the same vein of Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Heineken, like anything that has that around about that range of a flavor profile. If you enjoy those things, you'll probably enjoy this.
And lastly, the Buzz Cola, which I think he put grenadine or like cherry syrup into custom cola.
I call the small one. Cheers.
I don't hate it. I couldn't drink this whole thing. Like, I'm glad we're sharing. It tastes like soda. It tastes like off-brand Coke.
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet, but the cherry, I think, has settled. Look at that. The cherry's all down here, so it just tastes like cola right now. I bet if I stirred it, I'd hate it. I will say, if you want to do a non-alcoholic specialty beverage in The Simpsons, this is not the one I'm picking. I would go for the Flaming Moe, which is inside, and it's essentially just orange soda, but with dry ice, so it looks really cool. That, to me, is more fun than this, which just tastes like really sweet cola, kind of really sweet cherry cola. But I do like that they have some specialty non-alcoholic offerings.
If you're a sugar head and if you're a cola head, right up your alley.
For you. Next stop, we're popping into Moe's Tavern, which is the bar inside of Springfield, because they used to have another variety of Duff beer, and I read online that it's now only available in Moe's, so we're going to check it out. I should also note that in the fall times, they do have Duff Oktoberfest, which is another beer they can do. But let's see if they have that other beer here. All right, we have emerged victorious from Moe's Tavern, which, by the way, is really cool. If you're a Simpsons fan, there's so many details and Easter eggs from the show in there. I've never seen The Simpsons, so I don't know what any of it means, but I appreciate the detail. I don't appreciate the love tester. It's pretty rude.
I don't know, I kind of liked it.
Anyway, we scored with Duff Dry, which is only in bottles, and they have it in there. They have the other ones in bottles too, but it's less beer. But here we go, a Duff Dry.
Which was described as a Guinness-style stout. She's heavy. She's heavy.
She's too heavy for me.
So as with most stouts, you're going to get a flavor of, a light flavor of like roasted coffee. It kind of comes through the back. This is a meal. Now I will say, when it was described to us by the bartender as Guinness-like, it is not nitro, so it doesn't have that same sort of like velvety texture that a Guinness does. This is much more like a toasted ale.
It's too dark for me as someone that does prefer light or wheat beers or like a hazy IPA. This is not something that I would personally pick up. I also think it's really heavy for a theme park day when it's in Florida and it's 1,000,000 degrees. But I do think it's fun that they have bottled beverages, and the bottle was cute.
I just think it's neat that this entire section has 3 unique brews that are all dedicated to Duff.
4 if you count Oktoberfest, which again is
True.
only in the falls.
True.
And again, they've got the Flaming Moe, they've got the Buzz Cola. Like, I just love the special food. What are you giving this on the sip scale?
This is like a 4.5.
I was gonna say 4. I don't think I would pick this up again. Just not the kind of beer I like. And if you do like darker beers, I think the ones in the Wizarding World are better. And that's where we're gonna be getting our next drinks.
100%.
Making a little snack stop because snacking is important when consuming beer at Bumblebee Man's Taco Truck, which is another character location restaurant from The Simpsons. They have a couple different tacos, a chicken or carnitas and a carne asada taco, as well as some of the beverages, including bottled versions of all 3 of the beers we've tried today.
All right, and we have picked up the chicken tacos that is served with a little bit of fresh onion and cilantro with a side of chips. They asked if you wanted a red or a green salsa on the side. I went with the red. The green would, of course, be a tomatillo salsa. Whoop. Here we go. It's a very simple taco. The chicken is cooked well. It's not dry. Good amount of cilantro, good amount of onion. I wish I had a little bit more of them both, if I'm being honest. But for a grab-and-go taco, it's seasoned well, pretty darn tasty. I'm a fan. Well, delicious tacos consumed. And now, I think it's time to go visit E.T. because the only thing that can make the Green Planet better is when you visit the Green Planet after a beer and a half. E.T. Adventure is a slow-moving dark ride that takes you on the story of E.T. the extraterrestrial as you follow E.T. and visit his home planet, the Green Planet, because he needs to be delivered in order to save it and bring it life. And boy, is it something else. This attraction has a 34-inch height requirement and is the oldest existing ride here in Universal Studios, Florida. Well,
It's never less weird, but it's always great.
I love being welcomed home.
Welcome home.
You've arrived.
Magno.
A nightmare.
I love it so much. I'll be right here.
Okay, so to the Wizarding World.
Now, before we get to our next destination, I must point out these restrooms right here because in a video all about drinking, you're gonna go to the restroom a lot. And these restrooms are awesome because they are the only remaining building from Amity when they had the Jaws ride when this park first opened, which is why when you listen to the music around here, it's from the 70s, because that's when Jaws took place. It came out in 1975. The land was themed to 1976. And special bonus, if you look at the restroom sign, well, they're missing a leg, and I'm sure you can guess what happened. And we've made it all the way to London, to Grimmauld Place, to be precise. Wonder who could live there at number 12. Hey, creature. Would love some French onion soup if you okay. Anyway, so rude. We are headed into Diagon Alley at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. This is my favorite theme park land on planet Earth. As a big Harry Potter fan, I just love it so much. All the detail and everything is absolutely amazing. And of course, we wouldn't be headed there if they didn't have some specialty bevies. I mean, does it get better than that? Welcome, friends, to Diagon Alley. This is the home of Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, the roller coaster inside Gringotts Bank. This is where you've got Nocturne Alley, a lot of the stores that you've seen in the Harry Potter universe. Now, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is actually home to 5 specialty craft beers across the 2 lands. 3 of them you can get on both sides, both here at Diagon Alley, which is in Universal Studios Florida, and Hogsmeade, which is over at Islands of Adventure. However, there's also one that's only on each side, which again totals 5. So we're gonna grab the one specific to Diagon Alley and another one as well as some of our favorite non-alcoholic beverages.
Our first stop here in the Wizarding World is the Hopping Pot, where you can gather a whole host of beverages from alcoholic to non, including butterbeer. We didn't get butterbeer though. Psych! We got a whole host of other things, including the Wizard's Brew, and they're situated here as we start. Trash can table time is trash can table time. You're murdering our thirst.
I'm gonna.
Nice. We have picked up, in order from left to right, the Peachtree Fizzing Tea, Tongue-Tying Lemon Squash, and the Wizard's Brew, which is an exclusive here in Diagon Alley.
Now, I love butterbeer in basically all varieties, not a fan of the clotted cream, but when I don't want something so sweet or alcohol, this is what I'm reaching for in the Wizarding World. It's basically like the best country fair fresh squeezed lemonade you'll ever have. There's a whole half a lemon in each cup. Cheers. Ooh, it is perfect. It's a little sweet, but it's mostly really tart and delicious. It's so refreshing on a hot day. If you are someone that doesn't like sweet things, because a lot of stuff in Wizarding World, including butterbeer, is very sweet, can't recommend this enough.
And I'm going to try the Peachtree Fizzing Tea, which I've not had, but I do love peach tea, so I think this is potentially a match made in heaven. Oh. Well, it is indeed a fizzy tea flavored beverage. I get a little bit of a whisper of the peach. I wish there was more, but overall I think it's really nice, pretty refreshing. This isn't so fizzy that it's like you've opened up a soda water, but there's just enough to remind you that there's a little fizz. Pretty refreshing. Not as good as the tongue-tying lemon beverage, but pretty darn tasty if you like tea and peaches.
All right, and the Wizard's Brew.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. Wow, now that's also a stout. We had a stout over in Simpsons too, but this is way better.
It is. I think this is more of a traditional sour. That one tasted like it was a toasted ale, but this chocolate, a little bit of coffee, like roasted coffee.
Yeah,
in the back, but it's
that.
also still really light. Like it isn't going to weigh on you.
It's shockingly light compared to how dark it looks. Like it looks like it's going to be really heavy, like the one we had, the Duff Dry, but it's surprisingly very smooth. It almost, I don't say it's fizzy, but it like almost has effervescence.
There's more carbonation that you can actually taste to this one.
I would drink this, and I probably would not drink Duff Dry again. And before they rolled out my favorite Wizarding World beer, which we're going to have obviously soon, this was often the one I would pick. Okay, what are we putting this on the sip scale?
7.
Room to grow, but definitely the winner so far, I would say.
I agree.
Also, pro tip. Grab yourself a bevy, whether it be a beer, a butter beer, a lemon, whatever you want, and then check the time schedule for the stage show right here, because they alternate between the Tales of Beetle the Bard, where they do the puppet show of the three brothers and the Deathly Hallows, and Celestina Warbeck. Both are delightful, just short little shows, and it's one of my favorite things to do in Wizarding World, is just like have a drink, enjoy the entertainment, and like slow down for a minute and just enjoy being in this beautiful land.
If you want a place to just vibe, it's tough to find a better place than here.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have a question for you. If you lived in the Wizarding World and you worked in Diagon Alley, which store would you want to work at?
Not a goblin.
No, you can't work at the bank. Well, I guess you'd be like a curse breaker.
Technically, I could be a curse breaker.
You'd be like Bill.
I'm thinking that I'm going to pull a Bill Weasley and go curse breaker at Gringotts.
Okay.
That feels like it's. I love puzzles.
Sure, you do.
I love math.
Yeah.
That feels like it, and I love Defense Against the Dark Arts. There's a lot of dark arts stuff happening. There's some charms, which I feel like I'd excel at.
I think you'd be good at that.
Yeah, what about you?
I think I'm going to go work at Weasley's Wizard Visas.
I'm not surprised. You bringing Max with you?
Yeah, Chaos Twins meet Chaos Twins, and I just love Fred and George's energy. I love the whimsy. I love the idea of working with Fred and George. I think they'd be a delight. It's that or Borgin and Burks, but I don't want to give away too much, you know. Headed a little further into Diagon Alley now to pick up our final beverages of today's part of the video shoot. Yes, we could have gotten everything at the Hopping Pot, but we thought it'd be more fun to show you 2 different drink locations in Diagon. Also, who doesn't want to marvel at the dragon? The other drink-specific spot is called the Fountain of Fair Fortune. It's this purple building right here with the silver tankard. And much like Hopping Pot, it doesn't serve food, it just serves drinks, including the beers, including butterbeer and some of the other non-alcoholic drinks. I guess I should point out that Hopping Pot does serve the pasties if you'd like the vegetable or the beef pasties. They do have those for a little snack, but mostly just drinks at these two. If you want full food when you're in Diagon Alley, you need to go to the Leaky Cauldron. All right, we grabbed our final 2 beers for today. We've got 3 more to drink tomorrow. This is the Dragon Scale. This, again, available on both sides of Wizarding World. This is an amber lager. This one is the Daisy Root Ale, which is a golden ale, also available on both sides of Wizarding World. Cheers.
First up, we are going to sample the Dragon Scale, which is the amber lager. Here, I'll take a sip and you take a sip.
We forgot extra cups.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you're on your 5th and 6th beer video.
Which for us would be second and a half and third. It's heavier.
Yeah.
Malt, very malty.
It's somehow heavier than the Wizard's Brew, even though it looks lighter. It feels heavier in my mouth. It's dragon.
No.
It's dragon.
No.
The flavor is dragon.
Okay, now for the sip scale.
5.5.
So better than a Duff, but not as good as a Duff Light.
Yeah, I think that's probably my least favorite of the Wizarding World beers, if I'm remembering correctly. It's just a little too heavy for me, and it's not one that I'm personally going to reach for as someone that tends towards lighter beers. What I am going to drink, though, is this one. Again, this is the Daisy Root. This is a golden ale. That is so good.
Very light, a little floral.
It's heavier than the Duff Light, but other than that, it's definitely the lightest beer we've had today. What I like about it more than the Duff Light, though, is it still feels unique. It still feels like it has flavor. It still feels special, whereas that one kind of tasted a little bit more like something I've had elsewhere, but it's nowhere near as heavy as all these other beers.
If you took a Blue Moon, which is unfiltered, and you made it a little bit lighter in terms of the flavors that it's carrying,
It didn't add an orange.
that's what you're getting here.
I love this one. I think on the sip scale, this is a 9 for me.
I was going to give it an 8.5, but I'm willing to bump it up to a 9.
It's delightful.
And our last stop for the day before we call it and head back to endless summer on Surfside to just chill for the evening is the Leaky Cauldron, which is the main quick service restaurant here in Diagon Alley and offers a wide variety of wizarding food that you can nab. I'm just feeling some fish and chips, though. How about you?
Always.
After all this time?
Always.
That sounded very sinister. I feel like he was being pretty loving in that moment.
It's not loving to creep after a girl who friend zones you and then try and be really mean to her son and also not be upset that her son and husband got murdered.
Are you calling Snape a milady?
I'm simply suggesting that he is not a good man. He is brave and he does something good, but that doesn't make him a good person.
He does something very noble.
He spends years torturing teenagers, and not just Harry. He is so mean to Hermione. And
Neville.
And that's not okay.
I mean, I agree. Milady. And the delightful fish and chips have arrived. Here we have the fried cod, some french fries or chips, lemon, and some tartar sauce.
I'm obsessed with these fish and chips. They have them here and 3 broomsticks and hog's meat. It's probably my favorite quick service meal in Universal. Normally I get the kids meal size because that's enough for just me, but we're going to share. Also, I love that in mobile order you can add cups of water, which I think is great.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, water is important.
Hydrate before you dihydrate.
I love that it's fresh lemon to squeeze on top, and I love that it's house-made tartar sauce. And then also we're gonna put a gross amount of this on here.
Of course, I'd be angry at you if you didn't.
It's always fresh fish, it's never frozen. You can taste that it's house-made tartar sauce, and it's got kind of like the chunkiness in amongst the creaminess, which is delicious in my opinion. Love the fresh squeezed lemon. The crust itself is so flaky and the fish is nice and light. A+, no notes. Well, that meal was spellbinding.
And that's it for the first...
Fish-tastic.
Okay.
Chip off the old block.
Because of fish and chips.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the first day of sampling every beer.
Tartar you later.
We're going to come back...
Tartar for now.
We're going to come back tomorrow for the remaining 3 beers that are specific to the Universal Parks here.
We'll hop to it. Get it like hop beer's got hops in it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll be at the Barley.
Is that it?
Yeah, like barley, because barley's also in beer.
I thought you were going to be like, we'll be at the bar later. We're going to be at the bar later.
That's too complicated.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Well, bye for now. We'll see you in a minute.
Tar for now. Hello again. We are back.
Today we are at Islands of Adventure, the second park here at Universal Orlando, to finish off our beer drinking challenge.
We have 3 more brews left to sample and then rank.
And then we got to come up with the ultimate beer-yarchy here at Universal for their exclusive beers, so let's brew it. Accio Wizarding Beers.
And our first stop today is, of course, Hogsmeade, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, where you can pick up these beers either from the Three Broomsticks, which is a quick service restaurant, or where we are going, which is the Hog's Head, which is a sort of tucked away bar. Almost not illicit, but sort of shadowy. And then you just realize it's Aberforth who's running it, and he's just sort of crotchety and old, but it's not neither here nor there.
Dodgy.
It's a bit dodgy.
Bit dodgy.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go in there anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go.
All right.
As another pro tip, if you would like butterbeer, you can also get it from the Hog's Head, and they typically have a shorter line than what you would find at the carts in the Wizarding World. All right, we have picked up our first round of brews. What we forgot to pick up was the second cup to sort of split these in half, but that's okay. We'll just share from the same cup.
Ew, gross cooties.
Uh-huh. Now here we have the Hog's Head brew. This is an ale that is an exclusive to Hogsmeade because that is where the Hog's Head is. And here we have the Dark Forest Ale. So both ales, different styles. Excited to try them. I love this sort of crouching angle that we
I know,
have.
we're
Good
trying to
for
be
the low back.
We're trying to be like
Subtle.
out of the way. Okay, we're gonna try the Hog's Head first.
All right. Cheers.
Oh. Ooh.
The Hog's Head is a Scottish red ale.
It's similar to Killian's Irish Red.
Although I will say that this one's a little bit lighter than Killian's. People are really enjoying Velocicoaster.
That could be us later after a few beers. What better time to ride Velocicoaster?
Uh-huh.
I really like this. Again, it looks darker than it tastes. I think this one is my favorite of the kind of like amber red ales we've had so far. Definitely heavier than the Daisy, which is my favorite Harry Potter beer, but very good.
What do we rate this?
It's pretty good.
I'm thinking it's like a 7.5.
I accept. 7.5
On the objective sip scale. To be clear, sip scale, objective.
Yeah,
rating.
later we're gonna rank them in our own personal preferences, but I'll give this a 7.5. I think it might be better. I think it might be a little higher. 7.8.
We're really getting down into the weeds now, aren't we?
I really like it.
And next up, we have the Dark Forest Ale. This is said to be a brown ale.
They're very similar in color. We had a very hard time telling them apart.
Looks brown to me.
Cheers.
Cheers. And there's some immediate differences in taste there. Still refreshing, still pretty light. You taste it a little bit more, it's a little bit more malty than the red ale. The red ale is a little bit lighter. Has a little bit more caramel flavor than actual like malt flavor.
Yeah, this one has got like, it's crispier. This one is a little bit too heavy for me. Now it's not as heavy as some of the ones we had yesterday, but it's still heavier than I personally would care to drink in Florida.
Yeah, I think on the objective scale, I'd probably put this at like a 7.
Yeah. Now, I do want to talk about something that's very cool and not a lot of people know about here at the Hog's Head. Let me wipe my sweat stash, excuse me. And it is the souvenir cups. Now, they have a plastic souvenir Butterbeer Stein and a plastic souvenir Hogshead Stein. And if you get either of those, you can actually use them to get discounts on more drinks throughout your stay at Universal. So if you get the Hogshead Stein, which I did not see for sale on the other side, you can refill it with any of the exclusive Harry Potter beers through the rest of your trip here or Diagon Alley, and you'll get $1 off those beers. Now, you can refill it with whatever you want, they said. If you want to put one of the other beers, do some other British beers and ciders and things on tap, those you're not going to get a discount on. But if you refill it with any of the 5 Universal exclusive Harry Potter beers, you get $1 off. The beers are about $13 with tax, so it would be $12 to refill it. But the first time you buy it, it's going to be about $17 to get the souvenir cup and the beer. But if you're going to be drinking a few beers over your stay, and you get a fun take home. We love that. Additionally, the plastic butterbeer stein, you can choose between cold and frozen. I don't think they can put hot in the plastic.
Probably not the plastic, yeah.
But what's awesome is you can refill that. You can refill it with butterbeer. Butterbeer is the same price no matter what. And if you want to refill it around the park with like soda, it's less than $2 a refill.
You had like a Billy Mays, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. You can refill it like, she was like, yeah, take it to Jurassic Park, refill it at the register. It's like $1 and some change. So those are both really cool deals that are not advertised. You just have to know they exist. So happy to share that little secret with you.
Now you know. Welcome to the inner circle.
Also, I'm not done. I feel like this bar is a Billy Mays.
Wow.
Free item, just paid $19.99 in shipping.
Yeah.
You don't have to get just the beers here. They also have liquor here, and they have some custom specialty made drinks, but you also can kind of create your own adventure tale. You can't put alcohol in butterbeer, but if you wanted to do like one of the delicious teas and add some vodka, you can do that. They don't serve soda in the Wizarding World, but you can mix and match like the non-licensed drinks they have with booze and make your own invention. So that was a lot of information.
Cheers.
Cheers. There's not, I have an idea.
Oh.
I want to add a bonus drink.
Oh, we have a bonus round?
A bonus drink. Not counted on the sip scale, but I feel like it's never a bad time to show the bonus drink. It's another secret.
Okie dokie, we got distracted by a little bit of wizard entertainment, but now we are going to get the secret beverage.
And then also a beer that is triple layers with Guinness, Hogshead, and cider. Yeah. All right, we picked up our next two bevies. Now this one right here, this is a non-alcoholic drink. It's actually my second favorite non-alcoholic beverage in the Wizarding World besides the lemon squash. Well, actually, I guess it's lower than butterbeer, but you know what I mean. Of the non-butterbeer drinks, because there are so many, this is my second favorite. This is the pumpkin fizz. And then this is the secret beer. This is a secret menu drink. Off the record, under the table, if you will, it's called the Deathly Hallows. But you can't say that. You cannot order that. If you order a Deathly Hallows, they will act like they don't know what you're talking about. So what you have to order instead is a triple layered beer with Guinness, Hogshead brew, and Strongbow cider on top. And I love the pumpkin fizz. Have you ever had a pumpkin fizz?
No.
I'm excited for you to try.
Cheers. What can you go wrong? It's so good.
Give me it. If you're not going to appreciate the pumpkin fizz. It's like a pumpkin LaCroix. What's not to like?
It's so thick.
Okay, but I'm a pumpkin girly. I'm a spooky season girly. Pumpkin's my favorite flavor. And pumpkin juice is too sweet. And I think pumpkin juice is way too thick. So this is nice because it's like the flavor of pumpkin juice, but a little bit less aggressive and carbonated.
I'm just thrilled that you like it. And that is what's important,
Thank
because
you.
there are different strokes for different folks.
Okay, controversial, I guess, the pumpkin fizz. But if you've tried it, let us know. So I did ask if I could add vodka to this. Not right now, just in general. And she said that pumpkin fizz and like pumpkin juice, they follow the same rules as butterbeer, which are non-alcoholic beverages. But you can mix like the teas and things with alcohol. So keep that in mind.
Not bad.
It would be good with vodka. Could carry it all the way out to the hotel.
Yeah, you're just gonna, what you do
I'm gonna carry that all the way
You get a Camelback
back
and
to
or
the
a
hotel.
thermos.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need a water bottle to bring it back to, and then I'll put vodka in it on my own
Feels
time.
like a lot of extra effort.
Under the table. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that.
You just said it. Don't do that. Now we have the triple layered beer.
That's definitely not a Deathly Hallows.
Certainly isn't. Why would you say that?
I love it so much.
Now, as there are three different beers in this beer, three different beers in this drink. That's a much better way of saying that. It is outside of the normal rating scale and is a secret if you should choose to order and partake.
I like this one because I do like that the heaviness of the Guinness is cut by the cider. This would be a good one if you're not normally a beer drinker to try, because it is a little bit lighter than just like ordering a really heavy or dark beer.
Yep.
Before the Daisy Road existed, this was my favorite alcoholic consumption in the Wizarding World.
And now the days are, this is sort of like knocked down a peg.
It is. Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It's unofficially called the Deathly Hallows. We know there are 3 Deathly Hallows, hence 3 different drinks. Which drink do you think is each Hallow?
Okay, well, let's see. We have Guinness,
Yeah.
which is the color black.
Yes.
We have the Hogshead Ale,
Which is like a reddish
which is a
color.
red ale. And then we have Strongbow, which is a cider.
I think Strongbow's the cloak.
That makes sense.
Because
It's
it's
sort
the
of like
lightest.
transparent.
It's the lightest.
Right.
It's like covers you.
Here's where I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I think that the amber is probably going to be the Elder Wand because death and red ale, blood is red. Blood.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then the Resurrection Stone is black, canonically.
And the beer.
And the Guinness is also the color black.
So, okay, so we have decided, tell us if you agree, that the Resurrection Stone is the Guinness, the Elder Wand is the Hogshead, and the Invisibility Cloak is the Strongbow Cider. I like that.
I like that.
Making our way from the Wizarding World and Hogwarts into Jurassic Park. I love this transition because you go from the beautiful music of John Williams to the beautiful music of John Williams.
Legends.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow.
We'll just let John Williams do it. We have one final beer on our adventure today, and I don't want to say anything too early, but we might have been saving the best for last.
Well, we looked around for a while trying to find a table after picking up our snack and our final beer of this beer exploration, and we were unable to find them. So instead, we now have a Molly table time situation. Okay, now Molly, what have you got?
I'm the table.
Yes.
This is the Isla Nublar IPA. This is our final beer. And then, of course, we had to get a few snackies along the way. All of these things are from Natural Selections, which is a cart right across from Jurassic Park River Adventure. This is a beef empanada, and this is a papa rellena, which is like a potato pastry stuffed with meat and cheese and deliciousness. I think there's meat in it.
You're a table.
I'm a table. We're gonna find out when we bite into it. Now, again, the Isla Nublar IPA is a delicious beer only available here in Jurassic Park. You can get it several places throughout the land. We got it again at Natural Selections. You can also get it at the Burger Digs quick service restaurant. You can get it at the Watering Hole. It has a very fun tap of a mosasaurus eating a great white shark, and by very fun, I mean very tragic and devastating, because we should not be feeding great white sharks to mosasauruses, because great white sharks are crucial to the ocean environment. In fact, if we get rid of all the sharks, and it makes me sad that we're just great white sharks, because they could feed them. Going to know any better. Let's take out the top apex predator of the ocean. It's health and sanity, because without the ocean, we die as humans. He wants to have a conservation message and going about it the wrong way. All right, snacks first. Look at that. It's potato, meat, and cheese. This is such an underrated and delicious snack. It's like gooey potatoes. It kind of tastes like mashed potatoes, and then I believe it's pork and then cheese in there, and it's seasoned perfectly. It's not spicy or anything. It's just like a good hearty stick to your ribs. Very filling, but very, like, it's small but mighty. When it comes to snacks, underrated treat, I definitely think.
I have the beef empanada. Here we are. Cheers. Yeah. Listen, this is a solid empanada. Crispy crust that gives way to sort of like this nice light interior. Beef, along with some onions and peppers on the interior. Very hearty, very flavorful, spiced well, which is nice. Often you have a lot of really under-seasoned theme park food. This is not the case here. This is a really good snack. I recommend you get one after you finish getting pelted by water on Jurassic Park River. And now for the final beer.
We've made it, friends. The Isla Nublar IPA. Cheers. You bet Jurassic it's gonna be delicious.
You know, normally I'd be against that pun, but it's just true.
I don't even want to share. It's so good.
So Isla Nublar is an IPA, but it is not going to be like a traditional IPA with a lot of people think it was just super hoppy, very piney, kind of dry on the back end. This is a hazy, fruity IPA, so you're going to get a lot of very citrusy flavors, like orange or lemon.
This is the IPA that made me like IPAs, and now when I go places, I often order IPAs because I was like, well, it's a new signature beer. I have to try it, obviously, when Velocicoaster opened and they introduced this. It is so good. If you are not an IPA drinker, but you like a fruity beer, you like a cider, something like that, give this a whirl because it definitely tastes like beer, but it's cut by all these fruity, delicious flavors. It is light, it is refreshing. I cannot shout this one enough. And to my utmost joy, we met multiple people in the park today drinking this, and they were like, we're drinking this because of you. And it's like, if I've done anything in life right and it's share the joy of this and Shaky Jamaica, then I'm doing something. Then I feel so proud. It's so good. 10. It's a 10.
I agree. It is a 10. Objectively, I think for any type of beer drinker, you need to try this at least once.
So good.
Okay, now we've given you the objective scale on our sip scale. Now it's time for our own personal beerarchies.
These are our lists of which ones we're most likely to order, which ones we most likely enjoy throughout the parks.
You're up first.
I'm up first. Number 1, no questions asked, Isla Nublar IPA. Number 2, the Daisy Root Golden Ale. Number 3, the Hogshead Ale. Number 4, the Dragon Scale. Number 5, Duff Light. Number 6, the Dark Forest Ale. Number 7, the Wizard's Brew. Number 8, Duff Classic. And number 9, Duff Dry. I'm definitely more of a lighter, weedy IPA beer girly, so a lot of these beers are a little dark for me, and even though I'm definitely biased towards the Wizarding World, ultimately a few of those are still too dark, which is why I put Duff Light kind of right there in the middle.
And for my list, my beerarchy, they're a touch all over the place, but that's just because I'm rating them mostly on flavor profile and what I would like to order again and drink. Number 1, Isla Nublar IPA. Number 2, the Daisy Root Golden Ale. Number 3, the Dragon Scale. Number 4, the Hog's Head. Number 5, the Dark Forest Ale. Number 6, the Duff Light. Number 7, the Wizard's Brew. Number 8, the Duff. And number 9, the Duff Dry.
We're pretty similar. We flipped like just a couple of them.
Yeah, just a few things. I think the tops and the bottom two, the top two and the bottom two are the same. The Duff is fine. It's a beer that tastes like beer. The Duff Dry, maybe it would taste better coming out of a tap. I don't know, but
Just a little too dark for me,
too dark.
and again, I'm biased towards Wizarding World, so if I'm gonna drink a darker beer, it's most likely gonna be Harry Potter.
well, that brings us to an end of trying and ranking all of the beers at Universal Orlando Parks.
Now, folks, we've barely scratched the surface when it comes to unique theme park beers, so if you'd like to see us do this at Disney and Galaxy Far, Far Away or Pandora, write heck yeast in the comments.
Until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and if you would like to join with the MamFam in the conversation about this or any of our other videos, please join us on Discord. The links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been brutiful.
You know what? It has been
It's
beautiful.
been really fun.
It's been great.
It's been great. We should get water.
I want some water.
Yeah.